Khastkhalt pesia is kusqeli is selkhladis tomatlis is sihult. Hello everyone, all of my fellow tribal people, my friends, my relatives, my children. Today I'll be talking about the month of December, and then after that I will go back and talk a little bit about stories. The month of December, or near this time, was called the trapping time, or the trapping month. Es atsami spqani. Es atsami spqani. And also it's been known as Noel Spqanis. After the Jesuits came, they told the Salish Language people about Christmas. And that's where that word came from, because this is the time when the Christmas season is. Esatsami Spqanis is when the people trapped. That's what Esatsami means, trapping. They trapped the little animals for their fur. Most likely it would be skeleu for the beaver pelts, the chichleu, the pack rats, or not pack rats, excuse me, muskrats. They also trapped Sinchile, the coyote, and Tsiitsin, the wolf, and probably Mahuya, the raccoons. These smaller animals provided furs for different things. A lot of times for decorations for their clothing, and a lot of times for children's clothing. Sinchile is the coyote. Tsiitsin is the wolf. Mahuya is the raccoon. Chichleu is the muskrat. Skeleu is the beaver. Another one I forgot to mention earlier was Spa, the ermines. These are the little animals that turn white in winter with a black tip on their tail. Spa. Those were used pretty much for decorations, decorating the clothing. Those animal names again are Skeleu, Chichleu, Spa, Sinchile, and Tsiitsin, Mahuya. Those were most of the things that the people trapped for. They probably trapped for these even before Jesuit contact for their clothing and their other needs. I was told by an elder that the Squtissimye, the mountain lion, was not trapped or used for food. That was more like a spiritual animal. That was the same thing with the grizzly bear. If those things had to be killed, then their hides were probably preserved, but it was not often, and it wasn't done just for trapping. The black bear was not killed all the time. Just whenever something was needed from from the black bear, like the bear grease. It was not always that they killed that bear for any reason. Okay, the days of the week that go with the calendar are Stratse, I'm just showing you where they appear on the calendar. Stchwe, Etlasala, or Tichlasala, Chatla, Elmo, or Tichmo, Zilchsta, Stle, Spiste ulchwe, Yetlwa ul tiuchlasela, Yetlwa u tiuchlasela. Necheli chatla, Necheli chatla. Let's go through those again. Starting from this month. Esatsamis pqanis. Esatsami spqanis. Strate. Stchwe. Etlasala. Tiuchlasala. Chatla. Elmo. Tiuchmo. Zilchsta. Stle. And the animals. Skeleu. Chichlech. Lpa. Sinchile. Ntsitzen. Mahuya. That'll be it for all the animals and the calendar for this month. I'd like to talk a little bit about stories again. Squidlumpty. That's what the month of November was. Squidlus Pekanis. They told the coyote stories, the creation stories, and also there were other stories that were told, the legends. One of those legends was the legends of Stwena. Stwena is I guess what people nowadays would call Sasquatch, or a giant. I haven't heard of any sightings lately, but for some years there have been sightings in the mountains. People thought they saw Stwena. And people have reported seeing tracks, but they have not actually been seen. So this is one of the legends of Stwena. This is from a little booklet that's at the Culture Committee in St. Ignatius. Many years ago, the Flathead Indians had a favorite place to pick huckleberries. It was located in the mountains. One day, Susette told her husband, Muyi, that she would leave early in the morning to go berry picking at this particular place. Early the next morning, she saddled her horse and quietly left camp. She arrived shortly before noon and started picking berries. When she was about half finished filling her bark bag, she suddenly heard her horses snorting and pawing the ground. She decided she had better go and see what was the matter. When she got to her horse, she found him desperately trying to break free of the strong ropes. After she had calmed him down, she found out why he was so upset. The back part of her saddle was completely torn off by the horse. She searched for the remaining half, but was unable to find it. She became very alarmed now and decided to quit picking berries and go back to camp. A few days later, some other people decided to pick berries in the same area. While they were picking, they found the missing half of Susette's saddle on top of a little rocky hill. Another time, a short distance from the same area, Usadli and Madli were picking huckleberries when they heard their horses snorting and trying to break away. They stopped picking and hurried to see what was the matter. When they got to their horses, they found one horse hanging from a large limb of the big tree he had been staked to. His hind legs were wrapped up in the long rope, and the rope was thrown over the large limb, suspending the horse on his hind legs. He was desperately struggling to free himself. The two women finally calmed the horse long enough for one of them to climb up and cut the rope. They searched the area for any clue as to what might be doing this mysterious mischief, but the search was futile, so they returned to camp. Another mysterious incident took place near the same area. This time, only one family and their pet dog was involved. This particular dog was very lazy. He simply refused to bark at anything. It seemed all he was good for was to eat and sleep. One night after they had eaten their evening meal, they let the fire die down and went to bed. They were lying in bed almost asleep when they saw something at the top opening of the teepee. All of a sudden, something came tumbling through the opening, falling right in the middle of the fire. As soon as it fell into the fire, it quickly jumped up and ran out. By now the family realized that this was their dog. Again, it was a mystery as to what was responsible for all these cruel tricks. A few days later, Trahan and a couple of friends went fishing a little farther north of the same area. They fished for a while when Trahan decided to take a short nap. He told his friends to go on. As soon as he woke up, he would catch up to them. He woke up a few hours later, and though he heard Indians talking, he was unable to understand their language. When he opened his eyes, he saw two huge bear-like men. They looked like grizzly bears. They were both huge and furry all over. They stood above him with their weapons aimed at him. He was very frightened and decided to get up and run. As soon as he did, the two huge bear-like men began shooting their arrows at him. He tried dodging their bullets by running and jumping in different directions. He was yelling as loud as he could, trying to distract them. When I get tired, they may hit me, he thought, so he ran faster. All of a sudden, the shooting stopped and the two huge men took off running in the opposite direction. Trahan stopped to watch where they were going. They ran fast, disappearing from his view. Soon he saw his friends coming from the same direction. When they approached him, they asked Trahan why he was so upset. He told of his narrow escape and asked his friends if they saw or heard anything. They said, "No, we didn't see anyone." They thought he might be playing a joke on them. When they tried to tease him, he became very upset. They realized that he was very serious and had meant every word he said. They believed him then. Trahan was certain these two huge bear-like men were responsible for all the cruel tricks pulled on the people in the past. He referred to these two huge men as Tsawana, which means giant ape-like things, or ape-like beings. Tsawana. There have been other stories told, but that's the one that's in a little booklet that you can purchase at the Culture Committee. That's the end of that story. I have another story, Skodlu, Shirley and Namudla, Coyote and Raven. Shirley was walking around one day very hungry. He lay down by the medicine tree. Soon he heard Ulmudla flying overhead. Mudla was biting a piece of grease. "Where did you get it?" Shirley yelled, jumping up. "Where did you get it?" Shirley said, running after Mudla. If Mudla spoke, Shirley knew he would drop what he had in his mouth. Mudla hated to give it up. Shirley kept after him. finally Mullah spoke. As he spoke, his grease fell down. The grease didn't get a chance to hit the ground, and Sinchile swallowed it. Mullah told Sinchile where the Indian people were hunting. "I don't know where that is," Sinchile said, "but I'll sing my song, and by chance I'll get there." And this is the end of that story. Just remember, Sinchile was a trickster. He tricked Mullah into dropping his grease so he could eat it. He just had to have that dry meat grease. That's the end of our stories for today. Lem lunch. Nem shell wichtman. What ne piste.